So hello everybody, this is an 857 test at Newcastle Underlying Test Centre, and I'm going to give a little bit of commentary over these tests from now on, because I know a lot of you have been asking in the comments, can you hear what's going on? Well, unfortunately, because of due to data protection, we can't record obviously the voices of the test. Okay, so what we can do is we can see what's happened, and then I can try and break it down for you as we go along. So we've just come out of Newcastle Test Centre. Now remember, there's a one-way system on that test centre, but if you are parked in the right side and the bays are clear, you don't have to go around all the bays. You can go straight ahead as long as it's safe. So here, number one foul point in the UK is observation junction, so make sure that observation is effective, which seems to be good here. And this is a very common way that they take you. Sometimes you get pulled up along here where it's safe, legal and convenient, but I don't believe you do in this one. Those chevrons in the middle of the road, it's fine to go on. Say if you was passing a vehicle, because the lines around the chevrons are broken. If they're solid, you can't cross them unless it's an emergency. Now this road here, always a lot of vehicles parked on the side of the road, so it's a place where you will meet other vehicles. So remember, the skills on meeting other vehicles are a hold back position, okay, just next to the white line. That's going to allow you to see more down, but it seems on this one the candidate's very lucky, the road seems clear. Okay, but again, that effective observation, looking across, making sure that it's clear. These vehicles on the side of the road here, so good mirror checks. Again, it's clear. And here's a vehicle, so okay, so she's got enough room to get round. Seems good. And normally I would say there's going to be a pull-up somewhere. This could be it now. Okay, so remember, you've probably find the examiner says pull up where it's safe, legal and convenient. Or this could be pull up reasonably close to the vehicle. I believe this is probably pull up safe, legal and convenient. So handbrake, signal off. A little tip here, if you do leave your signal on, you might find the examiner doesn't say anything. So if it's silent in the car, then think, what have I missed? Okay. So at the end of this road, there's a busy merge junction, so I haven't seen this test, so I'm the same as you. I'm just going on what I can see, so I don't know where they're going. I would say maybe left. Yep, I would say left. This is where the instructor is probably going to be wrong. Get it wrong, so oh, there you go, so I'm right, so we're going left. So look at this junction here, it's like a little slit road, so use that, get over, it really helps get on the road. Okay, so this is great here. So we've got a roundabout coming up, and we are going to go, again I would say, straight in this situation, this roundabout. So it's the second exit on this roundabout. So let's hope the candidate keeps their position in the left. So remember, when you're going straight ahead, it's in the left, no signal. If you signal left, then other people would think you are going left. So what we do, we don't signal until around about here, centre mirror, left mirror, signal and down. Okay, so if you know this area here, the speed limit is 40, but it's very easy to not know what the speed limit is because you've got street lights, no signs at the moment, so look out for what they call the reminder signs. They're little signs. If there are side roads, which I'm not sure there's many here, but if you look into them, if this road is faster than 30, then you will see 30 signs in the little side roads. But I know this road is 40. It's actually got 3 lanes, so we can overtake if we needed to in the middle lane, and so could the vehicles on the other side of the road, but they can't come into our lane, which is a solid white line. Okay, so always be aware on this road if you are overtaking or turning right into the hotel. So we've got a national speed limit sign here, so that's interesting. I would suggest again I haven't seen this, but I would say that we're going left, and I can see we're in position for left. So there's a national speed limit sign, so we're entering a dual carriageway, which means it's going to be 70. Oh, I think I've seen something. Yep, so always look into a new road, and we can see the speed signs are now 50. So 50 miles an hour, and this road has what they call average speed cameras, so they work different from your speed cameras that flash you. They work over a distance, so that means at 50 miles an hour it will take so long to cover that distance, and if you're there quicker than that, then obviously you're speeding. They are the most effective kind of speed cameras I find, because on this A500 it is really cut the speeding. You know, doesn't seem like anybody speeds on this road at the moment. Okay, so again we're on this test, and seem to be continuing straight. So I would very much doubt they're going to come off here, because that would really take you back to the test centre. If they had, then that would mean there was a foul somewhere, which doesn't seem to have happened at the moment. I do know the result of this test, I won't let you know, but at the moment nothing seems to have happened. Okay, so if we take a look down this road here, we're going over Hanford Roundabout now. This is the flyover over the top of the roundabout. So that means if we're going over a roundabout, there's going to be slip roads joining from the left. Interesting point here, if you're on the sat nav, it will say keep right. Okay, so in the past I have known candidates going for tests here keep right, and they get over into the right lane. And that's not what it means. It means keep right is the A500, the road we're on, even though it's got 2 lanes. Keep left would be moving over into the local road, which is the A34. So at this point, if you are hearing keep right, stay on the A500. And we seem to be carrying on now. So what we have now is Bet365 to the right, and that's the Bet365 roundabout, the busy roundabout, so we're going under. So really important here, if you are coming here, there is a slip road that comes from the left just up here, and that's very, very short. So I'm always telling people to be aware, if possible, like now there is a possible chance of getting over to the right, because lots of lorries come on. Again, I haven't seen this yet, but this is a big possibility that there's a load of vehicles coming on. The candidate has got a chance to get over if possible. You see that motorbike, but that's okay, we've gone past. But if you can, get your position over. Solid white lines here, do not cross them, okay, only in an emergency. So basically do not cross them. Now they go broken, which means you can, but we're staying on the A500, it seems to be at the moment. And our normal driving position is in the left. on this A500 actually, I'm not sure if it's going this way or the other way, but you'll see, although it's 50, there is points when it goes to 40, and that's normally for the bend. And the way I understand it, if the bend is past a certain degrees, then it automatically, the system drops it to 40, just for a short time, but the actual speed is 50. So we've got another slip road coming in here. This is a very short slip road as well, but again, nothing on it, so all good. And we seem to be keeping up good speed and good distance from the vehicles ahead. Really interesting fact here, them barriers in the middle are what they call 5-ton barriers, so they're the really strong ones, and then you have other ones, if I can see them, are 1-ton barriers. You normally find the 5-ton barriers are there for protection, like on this, it's, you know, big walls and vehicles coming the other side. The 1-ton barriers, if I see them, I'll point them out to you. There's the 1-ton barriers on the side there, I believe. Okay. Okay, so we're carrying on the A500 at the moment. And this road here, the exit here, that will go to Shelton. Shelton New Road, I believe. So we're carrying on here, and these black and white signs warning you of a bend. Again, they would be put in because the bend is over a certain gradient. And then we've got the chevrons warning us of an exit. So again, I'm not sure on this, but I would say we're probably potentially going to come off this one. There you go, so we're now coming off. And this is Basford Bank. Okay, so again, for experience, I shouldn't imagine they're going right into Hanley. I should imagine they are going left. Okay, looks like a left, looks good here to me. Some of the questions we get asked are, can you use other vehicles as blockers? You can, big lorries, as long as you're central on them. It always worries me a bit if you've dropped behind slightly, because you never know if there's like a vehicle or a motorbike that's very close trying to cut round the back, and then the wheel be in the way. So you can use them as blockers, but be central. Okay, so this is Basford Bank up here. There seems to be a set of lights up here, and I'm not sure which way we would go at these lights. I would probably say we're probably going to go straight ahead, yep. Okay. You're probably, if you're taking driving lessons, there's a good training ground over there to the right, good for reversing, reverse park practice. I'm not sure if the neighbours are too happy on the reversing going on now. I use it a bit, but I try not to use it all the time. I don't like to upset people. I try my best. I try and spread it out where we do the reversing. Another interesting fact up here is the road on the right is a stop sign. Seen that being used on many a test. And remember, stop means stop. Sometimes on the busier roads it's quite difficult, because if you get a gap, you know, you haven't got a gap, and suddenly you just come up and there's a gap and you haven't stopped completely, it's very tempting to go, but you have to stop. It's a mandatory stop sign, so you would have to stop. So we've got another set of traffic lights. You see the way the tarmac changes from dark to light? Well, that's called shell grip. Shell grip is far more grippy than your normal tarmac. It's more expensive as well, but they put it in places where they know that potentially people might brake because they're not concentrating, and you'll see it near traffic lights, etc. So shell grip, have a look it up on Google. Okay, the reason why they make it a light colour Actually, I don't know whether this is a story made up, but it was so people could see the skid marks that the tyres had made on the light tarmac, and then sort of reinforce how dangerous it was. Sounds plausible, but you hear these things, you don't know. But I think it's probably true. So now it looks like we're coming into Newcastle, some of the bigger roundabouts around here. Sometimes one of the questions as a driving instructor you get is, why are the lights, there's two lights, like the one on the left is close and the one on the right is further back? It's because when you're forward on the line, say you're the first vehicle, you probably find it quite difficult to see the very near light, but the further one you can see easy. When we're at this distance we can see both. So that's normally the reason why we're at different points. Okay, so we're in the Newcastle one-way system here. Some people teach that when they're following around here to give a signal. I'm always a little bit wary of that sometimes, because it can confuse people. They might think you're changing lanes. So I'm just a bit aware, and it is a bend really, so I would say you probably don't need to give a signal. I think some people will probably disagree with me, but okay, so it looks like here we're going straight ahead. This is a very easy one to get confused on. So straight ahead is the third exit. The sat-navs don't normally count that exit because it's like no motor vehicles, although you get taxis down, then people drop off family and friends when they're going shopping or night clubbing. So the first exit, this is the second exit. Normally the examiner makes it very clear here it's going to be the third exit, and this is the exit straight ahead. Okay, so we're on our way here. Again, unsure on the speed limit. If you're very unsure at this point on the speed limit, have a look. Is the street lights? Yep, that's a big yes, it's going to be 30 miles an hour. Dual carriageway, it's very easy to think, oh, it's got to be 40. Okay, but remember, not all dual carriageways are faster. In fact, many are 30 miles an hour. Then we've got those zigzag lines on the pedestrian crossings. There's no overtaking, no parking. If you park, you're actually blocking the view to the crossing. Here we go again. Not sure where we're going to go on this one. Looks like we're going left. Okay, fair enough. So we're going left there. Again, effective observation. Interesting place around here with these roundabouts. So like I was saying, interesting place around here with these roundabouts. They have 3 lanes, so the left lane is just designated left, and then you've got a straight ahead and a right. So if you go straight ahead, always keep the white line in the middle, run next to it, so then that'll always put you into it. Make sure you've got a good observation so you can see behind. Not sure if there's a vehicle coming up on the left, but then you get straight over. So we did practice that a lot, and it looks like the candidate's got a really good position there, so that's really good. Again, not sure where we'll be going on this. I would imagine we're going right. Yeah, okay, there we are. This is up by the View Cinema. All these routes here, really common areas, get taken on a test. You get lots of different roads, lots of different situations. So we've had dual carriageways, busy town driving, suburban driving. So here again, mirror checks straight over. There's a zebra crossing here. Always be really wary of that zebra crossing. It's so busy. Can be so busy, shall I say. And then you've got these buses here, but it looks all good. Here's the old shell grip again, so you know that this is potentially a dangerous area. And straight ahead, I should imagine, yep. If you look on this traffic lights, you've got the box on the left. So always important, if you see that box on the left, potentially means there's going to be an arrow, or there is going to be an arrow. The reason why I say potentially going to be an arrow is that sometimes when it's not busy hours, that arrow doesn't come on. I think it's like that at the test centre. only comes on in kind of rush hours. So we've got a big lorry next to us. That should be going right, and we should be going straight. I always, when you're sitting there for a while, it's easy to daydream, so you can miss the lights. So I'm always trying to look when the vehicles on the lane to the left there stop, or the lanes to the right stop, and then you know your lights are going to be next. Just keeps your mind active. You don't want to go into like autopilot. So here we go, and sort of heading back test centre way. So it looks to me, looking at the timings here, that we've still got quite a way to go. So I should imagine we'll be turning off somewhere, doing something. I know the manoeuvre is not done until the end, but at the moment, I should imagine at this timing that we've got, it's going to be a good few minutes going down maybe some side streets, so we can pick up some stuff. Those things in the middle, those bollards in the middle, they're called pedestrian refuges. So we don't give way to pedestrians. What we do, we're aware, but that's their safe place to stay. The worst scenario is you stop to let someone go, they walk in front, you get hit from behind, and unfortunately horrible stuff happens, which we don't want. So sometimes as a driver, it's your responsibility. You may look tough and you're making these people wait, but it's their safety. It's what we do as drivers every day. We look after people and try to be safe. So again, it looks like we've been pulling up, safe, legal and convenient. So that looks good to me. I don't think we're in front of a driveway. Handbrake, signal off if it's on. There we go, we carry on again. Hopefully, had a good blind spot there, and away you go. So it looks like we're coming down, situation here, parked vehicles here. So again, that hold back position here, you don't want to keep getting near. To me, don't keep moving, just stop, hold. Again, look at the mirrors, no one's overtaken us, that's good. Hold back position is good stuff. Coming up to the next roundabout, and it looks like we are going straight ahead. Yep. I think that was straight ahead, that was good. And down here, so have a look on a road like here. This is very common for our place actually, street lights, but it actually looks a lot faster. Okay, so if you look in the side roads, there are no signs telling you that of any other speed limits, so it's definitely 30 on this road. It does go to 40, but you will see those signs in a minute. Okay, so 30 along here, and then up here a little bit, it goes to 40. So I think, see, look into the side roads, no other changes of speed, so it's definitely 30. That road is just up there a little bit, it goes to 40. So all 30 around here, street lights. And again, this is the third time for pulling up, so really, really important. Listen to your driving instructor here. You will get pulled up 3 to 4 times, okay? I remember years ago taking my sister-in-law up for her test, and this was the times before COVID when you can sit in the back of the test, and watching that she didn't check her blind spot on the first one. The examiner pulled her up. I think on the second one, really not so good, but on the third one and the fourth one, she checked it really well, and he actually said at the end that if you hadn't checked the blind spot one more time, then you would have failed your test. So remember, if you're getting pulled up, think, why am I getting pulled up so much? What am I missing? And then the other tip, like I said, if you leave your signal on, they can't tell you, but they can keep quiet. which allows you to notice the signals on. The signal can be very hypnotic. Ever had that where it's just in the background? So realise that's what it is. Click in. There's your signal. Okay. This road down here, as all driving instructors, well, I say that as myself, I'm not so sure on the names of the roads, but I always know where I am. So here I know it's a sharp bend, follow around, and I would say on this one we are going to go right. Here you go. Okay, again, really effective observation. This is a deceptively busy road. Okay, I find that on roads you get packets of vehicles, and what I mean by that is wherever there is like pedestrian crossings, junctions, vehicles slow down and stop, and then they come in packets. So normally you can see, if you look on roads, you'll see a packet of vehicles coming and then a gap, packet of vehicles and a gap, and it's our job as drivers to match these gaps up. Okay, a little tip for you: if you're sitting there and you think, oh my goodness, I've been waiting too long, it's that feeling you've got to be really aware of, because that makes you pull out and do something that's really not good for you, not good for other vehicles, not good for us, not good for passing your test. So if there's not a gap, there's not a gap. It's just there's an awful lot of vehicles. But you'll know when you've missed the gap. The hesitation is there. It's right in front of you. You will know in your mind, oops, I've really missed that gap. Okay, so we're coming down through Clayton, and now we're coming to the very common roundabout, which just leads you back to the test centre. So we've got the library on there on the right, these roads here. There's actually a road on your left, and there's a school up here. This can be really busy actually. See here, suddenly just all slows down. Schools, junctions, cars parked there. So yeah, it's all goes on here. Deceptively busy again. Okay, so this roundabout, unless we're going round, because we've come back a little bit early, this is definitely going to be straight ahead. Yep, nice position. Hopefully there's a good mirror check there and signal, and then straight down here. There's an interesting thing about that roundabout actually. Obviously the road that we've just come down in this one is both 30, but as you come down that road, if you look back on this video, you will see a 40 sign. Okay, and the reason for that is the main road that goes across is 40, but if they didn't put the 40 sign on the road we've just left on the roundabout, they would have to put two 40 signs on the left and right side. Okay, so here we come, we're just going around these back streets. So just back to that roundabout. So it's about safety for highway agencies, but also saving money. So on that roundabout, they've actually saved themselves two signs, I believe. So they put a 40 and then they put a 30 for the continuation. It's quite interesting, you can see that. Okay, so it looks like again another time that we've pulled up. And you know, this looks like they've either come back too early, something's happened, because normally they would go to the test centre, so I thought this was a fraction too early, but it's a really good sign. So that potentially means that the pupil hasn't made any foul points yet. So all good, hopefully. Coming to that time of year now where there's lots of leaves. Leaves can be quite slippery. They call them microclimates, little microclimates, especially in the winter. Sometimes when it's cold and icy but sunny, the road's not slippery, but under trees and stuff it can be little microclimates where leaves fall, lots of leaves, they don't get clear, they can be quite slippery. So always be aware. It's one of the hazards. You've got fixed hazards, moving hazards, and hazards concerning road surface, weather conditions. Looks like a little bit of mud on the road there. So following around, looks like a left there, which is good. So we've done like a little U-turn, little sort of bypass. and then definitely coming, looks like we're definitely coming back to the test centre here. Now, interesting fact here is that we've done the whole test and we haven't come back early, so it looks like we're out there for the full range, but we haven't done any manoeuvre. And on a test, unless you've failed, you won't do a manoeuvre, especially in days of COVID, you just come back. But at this point, we haven't done a manoeuvre, so that means that we're on for a pass if we can get this manoeuvre correct. So here's the test centre here. So remember, it's a one-way system, so we never turn in the first one. It's very similar to a garage, actually. Always go slightly past and then through. So there we go. And if I'm correct, could I do a manoeuvre? Yep, looks like it. So we're going to do a manoeuvre now. And this will be reversing back into the bay. There's two test centres around there, Cobridge and Newcastle. Cobridge hasn't got their own car parks, so they don't actually do the reversing back in the bay. Newcastle does. And actually the bays are quite big. If you get it wrong, then line yourself up with the bay in front, because they line up basically. Let's have a look where we're going, and it's like we're in. All I need to do now is straighten up. Okay, now I know the outcome of this test because I was here. Unfortunately, this test, even though driven really well, ended up being a foul for this. Okay, now at this point it's very, very easy to just get yourself in a state and forget which way to turn the wheel, and it just gets worse and worse. So sometimes you need a clarity of mind to just pull forward, line up with the bay, and then go in. The examiner will normally give you a couple of shunts, but on this one there was quite a few shunts, so unfortunately it was 5 driver fault, I believe, and a serious for this one. So unfortunately this is a foul, but I hope the talk through, I hope you like the talk through, so I can just go over some of the stuff that I can see, talk through those points, and it gives you a little bit of confidence for when you go to your test. And there you can see that we're now sort of over 2 bays. You can try again and move forward, but unfortunately that's probably enough shunts. That's done. There you go. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll hopefully see you on the road. All our driving tests, these ones that we show you, are done in electric vehicles, so we believe really strongly in keeping emissions down, doing our best. Automatics will be the future, in fact are the future. So vans, you see a lot of the green delivery vans, lorries, they're all going that way, they're all automatic. Okay, thank you very much.